Hello everyone. Hope you are all doing well. In today's lesson, we will have an overview of the options that are available when we click on the new project option in Storyline 360. So let's begin. So as we come to the main screen of the software, we will click on the new project option. So as you can see that there are quite a few options in the ribbon section of the software, and we also have options on the right side of the screen, and we also have an option to start a new project. But for today's session, our concentration will be mainly in learning these options and also a brief overview of the player trigger and the slide properties option. So the first option is to create a new project. And this is what we are currently doing. We are in a new project. We are having a slide that is untitled for now. So this is basically a lifetime demonstration of what this icon tells us to do. And the second option is that we can open a file that is in our laptop, that is in our folders. It could also be on a SharePoint site, on a web server, basically from wherever you can have an access to a file. The third option is the import function. So as we discussed it briefly in our previous learning session, we have the option to import a PowerPoint file. We have the option to import a QuizMaker file. We also have the option to import an Engage file. And we also have the option to have a Storyline file. And finally, we have the option to have questions from a file that can be in a different format. It could be a Word file, it could be an Excel file, for an example. So, we had a discussion about these options in our previous learning session. And if you guys are interested, you can always refer to that learning session that is named as lesson 1. And the fourth option is the translation. So, this is a very interesting feature in which you can have an export item in Word or other options. And I think that I also need to learn with all of you because I myself did not have the opportunity to learn more about this option. So please comment me if you want me to have a separate session on the translation feature of Storyline 360, and I will definitely do that. The fifth option is the save feature. And obviously, this is a very important feature that we never want to lose when we are working on our information, when we are working on our assignment, when we are working on our courses. So, it's always a good idea to save your progress and just to maintain your sanity. The next option is the save as feature. So save as basically allows you to save the software product in a different format. So for instance, if you have a storyline file and you want it to save in another format, you can always do that if you go to this option. And then we have the option to print the course. And when, for example, you have created one module of your course and you want to share it with your team members, with your stakeholders, with your subject matter experts. So you can always print out and you can have a very handy and very interactive piece of information that is ready to be shown to your team members as well. The next element is the send feature. And when we talk about the send feature, it is a highly interactive option in which you can have the maximum potential from your course, and you can also get some insight from your team members, from your friends, from your co workers. So, it is a really nice tool. And then we have the option to publish the course, and publishing gives the opportunity to have either a private link or a public link. So for instance, if you want to share it with only your friends, you can have a private link. But if you want everyone all over the globe to know that, hey, I have created this course, so it is all over to have a overview and to get the insight of how well it went, so you can always have a public link for that purpose. And then we have the suite option of close, and that is basically that you want to close it and you want to work on other options, or you just want to focus on other elements of your instructional design. So I hope that this helped you to understand the main elements that are sitting inside the file option. And also we have a option of storyline options, as you can see. So let's see when we click on it. And as we can see that there is a small window, and it has basically two options. One is general and one is features. So I honestly did not have an opportunity to explore these options. So please send me comments if you want me to make a separate tutorial on this one. And this will help us to learn it collaboratively and to understand that what are the possibilities we can achieve if we focus on these two options in the file function. So I will be looking forward to your comments. So for now, we can probably close this window. In the home option, we have a slide that is untitled for now. So let's double click on it. And now, as you can see that we have a slide that kind of appears to be similar to PowerPoint when you open the PowerPoint file for the first time. And also the elements that appear on the ribbon, they are also similar to the ribbons that are on the PowerPoint. But I think that, and definitely, storyline has so many potential when it comes to creativity, when it comes to having player options that we will talk in our future lessons. So this is a great initiative, and I highly recommend, if you are new to e-learning, to start working on your first piece of e-learning. And definitely this will explore you to how to self learn and how to be adaptable with the current digital technology situation. So for now, for today, we will close this window. So besides this untitled slide, we also have the option of cut and copy, which is very similar to the features that are available when you are working on a Microsoft product. So the new scene, it basically helps you to create a new scene in your course. And then we have the starting scene. And for the sake of today's session, we can see that there is a untitled scene. And we can also see that there is a red flag with it, and basically the purpose of this red flag is that it is identifying that, hey, this is a new screen and I am the first slide of this project. So this is basically the main purpose of having a starting scene with a red flag. The next option is that we can have question banks. So question banks, if we click on this option, we can see that there are four options which we will elaborate in our future sessions. But for today's session, it is basically an opportunity in which you can have questions from different pool of samples and from different sources. The next option is that we can have a new slide. So if we click on this arrow, we can see that there are so many options in which we can have a new slide, and we will also discover these options as we move forward in our learning sessions. The next option is to apply layout. So apply layout is basically when you want to change the layout of your slide. So for instance, if you want to have a question with a picture, you can do that. And right now, let's just try to explore it further. So, yes, it is like a file option in which you can have a question with media. So, if I click on this one, I can have a media that could be an image, that could be a video, and that could be with my question and with the title of that question. So, that is one way of having a diversity and some variation in your content creation process. The next option is to reset. And if we click on this option, it is explaining that it is basically the option of having the positioning and the size and formatting of the slide to change, because sometimes you have to make it customizable according to the need of the clients. So resetting always helps you to go back and to suggest some settings that are in alignment with the need of the course. So that is pretty much friendly feature, and that is really helpful when you start developing courses and when you start to learn from different mediums and you start to working with different requirements of stakeholders. So this is a great way of learning, I would say. The next feature is that you can have a duplication. So duplication is basically you can have all the elements of your selected file in another file, and you can have a change in the file, and it is basically having a copy of your source file. And honestly, that is really helpful as you start learning and sometimes things happen. So it's always a good idea to save a copy of your content and move forward in the process. So the next option is to record the screen. And we did have a discussion on recording the screen in our previous session. So basically, it helps you to record the screen and explain the live update with your team members and your stakeholders so that they can know the progress of your project and what could be the possible ways in which they can help you out. Another option is that we have the player feature, and I personally like this option very much because it gives you the option to play around with the headings, the layout, the music bar, and the volume settings all around with the player, and how would it appear that maximizes the potential of the learning objectives of your course. So I really like this option, and this is basically the option that requires a complete tutorial. So do let me know if you want me to have a tutorial that is totally focused on player options of Storyline 360. And then we have the option of preview. So as you know that as an instructional designer or as an e-learning developer or even as an educator, we always want to see what we have done, that how it will appear to the audience. So this option gives you to preview while you are working and also when you have the course ready before publishing it for the final piece. So this option is very helpful. Honestly, I think that there are few words to say about how remarkable this part of Storyline 360 is. And then we have the big piece, that is to publish your course. So that is the most happiest moment for a e-learning developer when you are ready to publish your course. So you are all ready, you have the need assessment done, you have the learning objectives done, you have a peer review of your course, and now you're ready to publish it and send it to your management system. So from here you can publish it, and this honestly also requires a separate learning module. So I will definitely making a module on this piece of information as well. This ends today's learning session that was basically focused on how do we start when we click on the new project option of Storyline 360. So I believe that all of you would have an idea that what are the options that are available in the file feature and the home function. And in my coming lessons, I will be highlighting on the remaining features that are available in the ribbon. So please let me know if you want me to focus on a specific part of Storyline. And thank you so much for watching, and consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope you all stay safe, and bye bye.